Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. French horns playing Baby Shark, the rally song for these Nationals, a team that all season long has been up against it after that 19-31 start, trailing in that wild card game, and they just keep coming back, and they're up by one, 8th inning, and the count 0-2 on the leadoff man, Trey Turner.
Well, we thought we'd see a lot of these games in this series, and there's been a couple that could have shaped out this way, but then the offenses, in particular innings, took over and broke games open. But this one has the feel that could be a classic finish, classic story being told of either the Nationals, and I would consider one of the greatest World Series wins ever if they're able to, or Houston finding a way to flex its muscles and win 2 of the last 3. But when you think about what Washington has gone through to get to this point, it's unbelievable.
Here's a 2-2. That's down. Turner 0 for 3 tonight. The big bats are guaranteed more trips to the plate before the end of this one. For the Astros, here's a 3-2. 2 hops to Correa. 1 away. Talked about Josh Hader, Tom Verducci being on the mound for Milwaukee in that wild card game, but it's quite a list of some great pitchers that the Nationals have had to come back against.
Absolutely, Joe. You think about 5 elimination games and trailing in all 5. These are the pitchers when they faced a deficit and facing the end of their season. Josh Hader, you mentioned, National League Relief Pitcher of the Year. Rich Hill, and then Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander, and Zach Greinke, 3 Cy Young Award winners.
1 out. Here's Eaton. Strike 1 from Osuna, who took over last inning.
Well, that man right there pitched his heart out and pitched almost a perfect game. 1 out, changeup, the only mistake he made tonight. That's it.
One ball, 1 strike. And the questions, if the Astros don't come back, will be about Garrett Cole. And it's worth going into again. Cole is up again for the Astros. That follow through caught Chirinos. And the count 1-2 on Eaton. Cole, who had not worked out of the bullpen since college at UCLA. Didn't do it in the minors, hasn't done it in the majors. Was up, but Greinke was rolling, and he ran into trouble in the 7th inning. A.J. Hinch went to a typical reliever, Will Harris, instead of bringing Garrett Cole in. At that point, he wasn't even throwing. And so Will Harris didn't get it done. He's been so good this postseason for the Astros, a big reason why they're here. But Kendrick got him on the home run down the right field line. And the Nationals have the lead, and they haven't had to deal with Garrett Cole yet, as that pitch is down and in, a full count.
Yeah, he hit a pretty good pitch, too. You got to give Kendrick all the props there, because he hit a pitch that was cutting away from him, and he sliced it just inside that pole. The Nationals are proving that age is just a number. The oldest team in baseball.
That's a 1-out walk. Rendon coming up. T-Mobile takes fans further for the future of baseball. And now we'll take a look at the best of the 4D replay, sponsored by T-Mobile. Rendon connected off Greinke last inning. And then after the pitching change, Kendrick connected off Will Harris and hit it off the fencing to the left of the right field foul pole for their first lead of the night.
Kendrick can do that because he stays up the middle. He's not trying to pull everything. If you're trying to pull that pitch, there's no way you can hit it down the right field line for a homer.
Rendon is jammed and he fouls it back, strike one. Elimination games this postseason. Anthony Rendon in the 7th inning or later. Walk, homer, double, double, homer, double, home run tonight.
Come on. Are we sure about that? That's unreal.
The free agent to be. There goes a runner. Throw down by Chirinos. Too late. And the stolen base by Eaton is his first of the postseason.
Well, he steals this on the pitcher. High leg kick. And the reason that's a good stolen base, they're not going to walk Rendon to pitch to Soto. So you get basically 2 cracks at adding on another run or 2.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. It's upstairs, 2-1. That's a strike, and the count 2-2. Ken Rosenthal, I know you want to weigh in on the pitching move last inning.
Right, Joe. The curious move to me was not putting Osuna in for Kendrick and going with Will Harris. Will Harris, that was his 12th appearance this postseason. He gave up the home run to Rendon last night. On the off day, A.J. Hinch said he deserved a day off more than anyone in America. He is definitely running on fumes, and yet he was the choice and not Osuna in that spot.
Here's a 2-2. High fly ball into left. Brantley to his left. Marisnik to his right. 2 down. And with 2 out, the batter will be Juan Soto. StatCast AI is powered by AWS. And this got the Nationals going with 1 out last inning. Rendon grew up an Astros fan and trying to break Astros fans' hearts here tonight in Game 7 as it left at just under 104 miles per hour and traveled 374 feet. Meeting on the mound with Soto up, first base open. Kendrick right now the hero waiting on deck. Authentic on-field caps, tees, jerseys, hoodies, and more. Get all your Astros and Nationals World Series gear and celebrate with your team at the official source, MLBshop.com. Here's Soto. Check swing on ball 1. Soto's walk was the end of the night for Greinke and the start of something big for the Nationals. The pitching change, Will Harris got the call. Howie Kendrick took him out. Base hit into right. Eaton will come around third base and score. Soto delivers again. And it's 4-2 Nationals here in the 8th. That 21-year-old kid has been unbelievable this postseason. And at times, it's like he can't get him out this World Series.
No, trying to go away, and it went in, and a base open with Kendrick on deck. They talked about their game plan, but another 2-out run. When the Nationals came rolling into this World Series after the first 2 games, they had scored a high percentage of runs with 2 outs. It cooled off at home. Well, it's picked back up. Something about being on the road has loosened up this ball club and gotten their big hits.
Nothing in 1. The count, 1 on, 2 out. Soto starts and stops. That ball pops out of the glove of Chirinos. 1 ball, 1 strike. So a walk to Adam Eaton and a 2-out RBI hit to right by Soto. And the lead is now 2. And the tension hasn't been higher in the stands here at Minute Maid Park since the start. The Astros led by 2 after 5. The Nationals went on top last inning, and now they lead by 2. That's foul. Strike 2. Talked about 2 outs and RBIs. 15 of the 28 runs that the Nationals have scored on the road in this World Series have come with 2 out.
Again, it's been amazing. That's how Boston, everything went right for last year for Boston. I think they had about 43% of their runs were scored with 2 outs in the postseason. And you're getting that kind of production with 2 outs. It'll be tough to beat you unless all those runs are when you're way down.
Roberto Osuna brings it. Kendrick fouls it off.
So the interesting decision now that Dave Martinez has. Daniel Hudson's been in the bullpen just kind of hanging out. Corbin ate up a couple innings. A 2-run lead now.
One, 2. That's off the glove of Gurriel and down the line. Digging for third is Soto. And it's first and third with 2 out and a chance for more here in the 8th. And it's a hit as Kendrick is on base for the 3rd time tonight. And here comes A.J. Hinch. And that's going to be it for Osuna. Osuna got the final 2 outs in the 7th, gets 2 outs in the 8th. Max Scherzer is all smiles in the Nationals dugout. And you know they're smiling back at Nationals Park in D.C. The lead is 2. Pitching change in the top of the 8th in Game 7. With runners at the corners, 2 outs, a run in, and a 2-run lead for Washington. The move is made to the right-hander, Ryan Presley. He's been better his last 2 appearances. Worked a perfect inning here last night. As Drupal Cabrera takes a ball up.
He's got the power curveball and a good fastball as well. And as I mentioned earlier, they've been trying to get Cabrera out with the curveball, and he beat one of those curveballs for a base hit against the shift.
1-0 pitch. That's in the air to left and right at Brantley to end the inning. But the Nationals get a run on 2 hits in the inning. They've left 5. Bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the order coming up. Nationals up 2. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by State Farm. The city of Houston, Texas, wondering if the Astros can get 2 runs before the Nationals get 6 outs. We start the 8th inning. Correa takes a strike, and Patrick Corbin is back out there. Dave Martinez, Paul Menhart like the way he's throwing, so they stick with him. Correa 2 for 3. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, the Astros definitely have to get somebody on base. You can't keep going up there, everyone trying to hit a home run. But I can tell you right now, they got to make it as tough as they can on Dave Martinez by creating some traffic on the bases.
They've had traffic. The problem is that traffic has stalled on the bases. 10 left for the Astros here in Game 7. The Nationals have left 5. All Washington scoring in the 7th and 8th. Leading by 2. Here's a 1-2 to Correa.
That's the pitch right there. He just becomes so much tougher when he have to cover both sides of the plate. That fastball away is going to be a huge weapon for him because his slider's so good. If he ever gets that pitch and he continues to throw that slider, there'll be a lot of wins for this guy in the Nationals uniform.
Another 2-2. Strike 3 called on the inside corner, 1 away. Second strikeout for Corbin.
And he gets the benefit of a call big time on a fastball inside. With 2 strikes, there's no way he can handle that pitch. Can Correa, and a good opportunity for Corbin to put pressure.
Correa had every reason to quarrel with that call, but he's out to start the bottom of the 8th, and the batter is Chirinos. The Astros are guaranteed to get at least Springer, Altuve, and Brantley to the plate. If anybody should reach between now and then, Bregman as well. Before the end of the night, from the hole with a backhand long throw, Turner. 2 down. Back in the 2nd after a leadoff home run by Gurriel. The Astros got hits from Alvarez, Correa. 2nd and 3rd, 2 out. A 3-0 pitch, and that sinking line drive hit by George Springer was caught by Juan Soto and left before it hit the grass. A big play. Bad break for Springer as he hit it hard. The game stayed 1-0. 2-0 after 5, and it's been the Nationals scoring 4 runs since then. Ball 1 down to Marisnick. 1 for 1. So John, with starters out in the bullpen, and a lot of attention to Garrett Cole sitting out there for the Houston Astros. It's Patrick Corbin, a starter during the season. He's been busy out of the pen 5 times this postseason, trying to get 9 outs.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. He's had a couple rocky outings in the postseason, trying to get used to this kind of dual role. And to get 9 outs in this circumstance in the 7th game of the World Series.
That's a strike, and it's 2-2.
Would be huge.
2-2 pitch. Fouled away. Right-hander Joe Smith is getting loose for Houston in their pen. Two-two delivery is down, a full count with Springer, who has 7 World Series home runs under his belt, waiting on deck.
I mean, we're basically on the brink of something the rest of my lifetime I'll never see again. I mean, just never going to see all road teams win ever again. I mean, it doesn't even scratch the surface of trying to figure out how that can happen, but that's what the Nationals are getting ready to do.
This is the 115th World Series. A strikeout ends the inning, and how about Patrick Corbin? 9th inning rolls in. Nationals will bat, leading by 2. Welcome back to the World Series, presented by YouTube TV on Fox. The bullpen in Washington, D.C. celebrating. And the bullpen tonight for the Washington Nationals has featured one guy, Patrick Corbin, as Joe Smith takes over and deals a strike to Ryan Zimmerman. 9th inning underway. 4-2 Nationals here in Game 7.
This series, it might just be series of the unexpected.
That is up the middle for a base hit. And Zimmerman is on to start the 9th. That'll bring in Yan Gomes.
I mean, the Nationals were coming in and facing a ton of horsepower for the Astros. You're talking about Cole, Verlander. Had to face him twice. And to their credit, they held their own. They knocked off the 2 hottest pitchers. Greinke was fantastic, hung in there. Big hit after big hit after big hit. And they are 3 outs away.
But they got the lead and were able to jump on top without having to deal with Garrett Cole here for the 3rd time in the series, coming off that win in Game 5. So they did the damage.
Yeah,
and kept Cole beyond that right field fence.
They did the damage in the smallest window they could do it. Yep. Think about it. It is really the only window of opportunity. That's why that home run against Greinke was so big. It wasn't that it cut the deficit by 1. It just made the opportunity for them to score in that inning before they got to Cole, because once Greinke went out there, they weren't bringing Cole in the middle of the inning.
Here's Smith. Throws to second, out, over to first, safe. And let's go through that again. So Greinke is rolling with a 1-hitter and a shutout going into the 7th. Pitching the game of his life. He gets a leadoff man, Adam Eaton, in the 7th inning, then gives up the home run to Rendon, who's just come up big time after time for these Nationals. And then the walk. Cole's not up at that point. He had been up the inning prior. Here's Robles. Strike 1, and like you said, A.J. Hinch, to bring in Garrett Cole, wanted to bring him in to start an inning. In order to do that, in the 7th, he would have had to take out Zach Greinke was pitching a one-hit shutout.
Exactly, and Cole was just kind of getting loose to get his arm ready for when the potential inning would have been coming around.
Robles into shallow center. Marisnik won't get there. Down to second is the runner Gomes. 2 on, 1 out.
And at that point, to what you just said, Greinke was cruising and getting quick outs. It wasn't even like getting in and out of trouble. And so you're buying that inning. And up until the 7th, there was no reason. Ground out to short. He's cruising.
Back to the top of the order here in the 9th inning for Trey Turner. Hitless on the night, 0 for 4, dealing with the right-hander and taking strike 1.
It's simply put the hardest game in the world to manage. There is just no script that you can go by that seems to ever work all the time.
And Will Harris is the guy that A.J. Hinch selected. He told us, yes, he was worn down, but he had gotten huge outs all postseason, and he was one of, if not the most valuable guy he had in his bullpen in October. That is foul down the line, strike 2, and Trey Turner broke his bat. Now Urquidy is getting loose. On the other side, the decision upcoming for Davey Martinez. Corbin has flown through 3 innings. Does he pull him and go to Hudson with the top of the order coming up? Or does he leave him in? And they're talking about it right now.
I don't know. Usually when a guy's laughing, that means the stress is off. Right? Or his duties have been relieved. I don't know. It's been a slow heartbeat, literally, for Dave Martinez until yesterday when he was on the field kind of losing his mind. You can understand why. But his team has rallied around him.
And tonight it's just taken 2 pitchers to get through 8. Here's another foul by Turner.
The only thing I will say that becomes a little bit of a disadvantage for Daniel Hudson, he has been in that position for 2.5 innings. And the anxiety grows, and you stand there waiting to take your turn. Not that easy.
Here's another 1-2 to Turner. You have to believe Hudson thought his turn was coming last inning, with 3 right-handed batters coming up in the bottom of the 8th. But the Nationals added to their lead, made it a 2-run game, and so Corbin went back out. Those are the 3 guys coming up in the 9th inning for Houston, the top of the order.
So Hudson more than likely faces the right-handed hitters, and then you got Brantley and you got Doolittle. Or you got Doolittle for Alvarez if it gets that far.
Trey Turner could take a lot of the stress away if he can deliver here with 2 on and 1 out in the 9th. He did not swing, and the bases are loaded on 2 hits and a walk. And here comes A.J. Hinch. And now Joe Smith, who's been so good this postseason, is relieved. And Urquidy is coming in with Adam Eaton coming up. If you haven't had a chance to catch Friday Night SmackDown on Fox yet, now's your chance to see what all the buzz is about. It's the live primetime spectacle that has millions of viewers on their feet every Friday night. The new era of Friday Night SmackDown is only on Fox.
Well, if the Astros are going to have any chance at all, they have to get out of this inning. And what a position to put in this young man who delivered big time in Washington. Bases loaded, 1 out against a stingy hitter. Tough to double up.
Jose Urquidy in that Game 4 start beat Patrick Corbin, went 5, allowed no runs on 2 hits in an 8-1 win. Out of the bullpen, and ball 1 inside as Eaton was more than willing to let that ball hit him.
But it's just like human nature. It's like sitting behind the screen at home plate. You're always going to flinch when it hits the screen, and you're always going to get out of the way and wonder why you didn't just stick a leg out.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Urquidy out of the bullpen. That is up the middle. 1 run scores. That's Gomes. They hold Robles. Now send him as Marisnick kicks it in center. 2 more runs and it's 6-2. Nationals up by 4 here in the 9th. Adam Eaton has delivered.
Super tough spot for Urquidy. No room for error. Great contact guy in Eaton, and they can smell it right there.
Adam Eaton has had a huge World Series. Came in with a top average in this Nationals lineup at .333. As Rendon takes a ball up and away, it goes down as a single, 2 RBIs, and an error on Marisnick in center that allowed Turner to get to third. They were holding Robles until Marisnick had trouble with the ball in center and sent him to the plate. Rendon fouls it. A ball and a strike. Six to 2, and a chance for more. Only 1 out, and the Nationals in this series have done big damage from the 7th on.
Lucky we had never seen him, man.
Adam Eaton with a walk, a steal, and a run scored last inning has 2 RBIs here in the 9th. Ball 2, down and away, 2-1. When the stories are written about this Game 7, if the Astros don't come back, part of the narrative will be a 2-0 lead. Garrett Cole available. The lead evaporated in a blink, and Garrett Cole never got into the ball game. And that means he could very well have thrown his final pitch as a Houston Astro.
Yeah, and unfortunately for A.J. Hinch, guys that were really good out of the pen in these situations weren't. But you're right, that's what will dominate the narrative probably.
It's a 4-run game. Runners at the corners, only 1 out, and a 3-1 pitch. Fouled back by Rendon. The Hot Stove League will be cranking soon, and Garrett Cole will be a free agent. Where will he land? Anthony Rendon evidently has that contract that's been offered and rejected. And Steven Strasburg, who could very well be the MVP of this World Series, has 3 days at the end of this series to opt out of the final 4 years and $100 million of his contract. Rendon pops it up on the infield. 2 down. And that'll bring in Soto. When the Senators won it all in 1924, Earl McNeely hit a 12th inning walk-off double in Game 7 to beat the Giants, and Walter Johnson The big train pitched 4 scoreless innings in relief. It was his only relief appearance all year after winning 23 games in the regular season. He had started and lost games 1 and 5 in the series. A guy who had 417 wins in his 21-year career with the Senators. And if Corbin goes back out there, it would be a 4-inning effort tonight in Game 7. Not saying he will, who knows, but he has a chance to, certainly, as that misses inside to Soto, ball 1.
And we go back to the way that Rizzo held true to this team. Dave Martinez said, when we get healthy, we're going to be better. They built their team around starting pitching. It's the starting pitching that was able to get them this point. They're the oldest team in baseball. That's saying a lot because there's so much youth in the game.
Soto flies one to center for Marisnick, and the inning is over, but more damage is done. After 3 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, 2 here in the 9th, top of the order, and the last chance for the Astros. Bottom of the 9th inning, Game 7, Nationals leading by 4.
We get it almost every night. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody dancing in the moonlight. Everybody feeling warm and right.
Bottom of the 9th inning of Game 7. And Daniel Hudson takes over. Corbin 3 brilliant innings. No runs, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts. Springer takes a strike at 96.
What a job.
Corbin in line for the victory. Hudson picked up from Toronto. Washington, his 3rd franchise he's been with this season. And he helps settle down their bullpen. That's a mile high on the infield for Cabrera. 1 out. After the game, we'll have the awarding of the Commissioner's Trophy along with the announcement of the Willie Mays World Series Most Valuable Player Award presented by Chevrolet. If this is not Houston's night, you think about how they started this decade, 2011 through 2013, 324 losses over those 3 years. They've won over 100 games the last 3 years. World champions 2 years ago. They're just the 6th team in Major League Baseball history to win over 103 straight years. But here they are with 2 outs to go, down by 4 in the 9th inning to the Nationals. This resilient team that just refused to quit. A strike makes it 0-2 on Altuve.
You know, there's been bigger underdogs to win the World Series, but I really can't imagine there's been a better journey with where this team was. I'm trying to think of just scenarios in other sports that would, it's like losing or hitting long buzzer beaters.
A strikeout for the 2nd out, and the Nationals are 1 out away.
Because taking into context who they were facing when they scored the runs, it's not that just the teams rally, but it's who they beat. And the very first guy they beat was probably the hardest guy to beat in Hader with the Milwaukee Brewers.
It's been 34,718 days since October 10th, 1924, when the Washington Senators won it all. Here's Michael Brantley. Ball 1 inside. The fans in D.C. are great baseball fans. Not just now, but they have been for a long time. Known as a 2nd division team for years. 2 Senators teams left. That's a strike. The city went 33 seasons without baseball. Then the Expos became the Nationals in 2005. They struggled after moving to D.C. And then the first round of the playoff heartbreak over and over again. And here they are with Brantley taking inside for ball 2. Trying to win their 4th road game of this World Series. That one is down the line. In the corner, it is foul. And now the Astros down to their final strike. Franchise that went 50 seasons without a championship, without a World Series. Starting in 1969 in Montreal and trying to wrap up this World Series and win their first championship in franchise history. Inside and a full count. Scherzer, Corbin, Hudson. And now a 3-2 pitch. Out of play. An organization owned by the Lerner family. Mike Rizzo, the general manager. Dave Martinez, the field manager. Here they are, 1 strike away, 1 out away. 3-2. There it is! The Washington Nationals are world champions for the first time in franchise history. Six to 2 is the final. Patrick Corbin earned the win, taking over for Max Scherzer. Will Harris suffers the loss. And D.C. has its 2nd championship. The Nationals have their 1st.
We won more.
It's amazing in a team where young players grew up and became stars. The veterans kind of kept the ship going.
A great mix of young and old, and the oldest team in baseball is the last one standing as they win in Game 7 here in Houston. And the celebration is on. Down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks. He just left.
Well, whoever Kenny had just took off. We've got plenty of time to get interviews from down on the field. 5 innings for Scherzer, 3 for Corbin, 1 perfect frame for Daniel Hudson. just to finish with those fans in D.C., the Senators from 61 to 71 finished, as they say, in the second division all 11 seasons. And the phrase was Washington, first in war, first in peace, last in the American League. Baseball came back in 2005, and the celebration is on as a championship is headed back to our nation's capital, secured here in Houston by this never say die Nationals team.
Yeah, it really is. It's hard for me to think of again a team that had to overcome as much as they did. 19-31. Manager goes through some health scares, and a day yesterday where a lot of them were concerned of how fired up he was. You could see him in the dugout as calm and as relieved, and the team, that this truly was a team, has captured that city. And what a moment.
All right, Ken, back to you.
Thanks, Joe. We're here with Max. Max, you're a 3-time Cy Young winner, and now you're a World Series champion. After all you went through physically the last few days, what does this mean to you?
It just means I'm part of the greatest team in 2019. These guys, they battled, didn't matter. It was stay in the fight, that was our model. It was the next guy up. Everybody gave it their all. Whoever was always going to produce, and we took it all the way, and we won the whole thing.
You went 5 innings, you had base runners every inning.
Right.
How did you get through it just allowing 2 runs?
Just stay tough. They're a great team, great offense. They were grimy. Just try to make pitches. Stay with Jan. Trust your instincts and just compete. Lay it on line. Just whatever you got to do. Granky did a heck of a job tonight of working quick. I was just gassed, but hey, you got to give it whatever you got.
How did you feel physically? Was it a risk to pitch?
No, I was physically good. The cortisone shot worked, the chiropractic adjustments worked, so I felt good.
What is it about this team, Max? What makes it so special?
1 through 25, everybody. That's the only way I can describe it. The energy, the camaraderie, the belief in one another, it doesn't matter. Everybody just believes in each other.
Congratulations,
Thank
Max.
you.
Enjoy it. Joe, back to you.
All right, thanks, Kenny. So a guy that couldn't get dressed on Sunday morning, the day of Game 5, gets that cortisone shot, gets ready for Game 7 tonight, and he went 5 strong. From Zimmerman, their first ever draft pick back in 2005, to the young Juan Soto, who came of age in this World Series and went from 20 to 21. A big part of the Nationals win here tonight and in this World Series. The Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award when we come back to Houston. After this, the Nationals are world champions.